Did you know that a deck of cards and a couple of nickels can help resolve most issues with doors around your house? This door, for example, is rubbing up here in the corner. You might have issues where the latch won't actually engage. Maybe it's rattling in there and the whole door is loose. Well, we're going to use these tools and some others to try to help you out with every single one of those problems in just the next several minutes. The first thing we need to do when diagnosing issues with a door is look at the reveal. The reveal refers to the gap between the door and the door frame, and it should be consistent all the way across on the top as well as all the way down on both sides. But as you can see here, this one is really loose on the top and then tight on the right side. In an ideal situation, the reveal should allow you to put one nickel with a little bit of wiggle room inside there. And now when I lift up on the door, that's exactly what I'm getting. A nice little gap there and all the way down the middle and all the way down to the bottom. The other issue that we're having with this door is because it's tilted so much, it won't even latch. Check this out. All I have to do is pull it with my finger and that thing will open right up. First thing we're gonna do is look at the hinges. The hinges are the culprit like 90% of the time. So let's see if we can figure out what's going on here. First thing we wanna do is tighten them all and make sure everything is nice and secure. Oh, there's our first issue right there. As I twist this, it just keeps spinning. So that screw hole is stripped. Let's try the next one. Same thing. These two need to have the holes filled. Let's check the door side. That one's great. That one's great. And that one's great. All right, so we only have an issue with these two. So let's take care of that. That's an easy fix. The screws they use to fasten on door hinges are pretty small. These are typically maybe 3/4 of an inch, and so they don't have a lot of gripping power. We'll remove the bottom one, remove the middle one, and on this middle one, that's typically the one furthest back and closest to the center of the door. On that one, we're going to actually drive a longer screw, like a 3-inch bit like this. So we'll drive that in, and that should help hold this thing in place for good. Then to plug the hole, you can use any number of household items like toothpicks, matchsticks, or one of my favorites, a golf tee. Whichever one you go with, put a little bit of wood glue on there. Even some super glue could work. Just slide that in, break it off, and then drive the screw again. While you're there, be sure to check the other two hinges. And again, just looking for either strip screws or anything loose. As we get to the bottom one, we've got immediate issues. This whole thing is just loose on here. Okay, that one's stripped. That one I can already tell is stripped. And I'll bet this one is too. Yeah, we've got 3 stripped holes here. So again, we're gonna use the techniques with the toothpicks, the matches, or the golf tees to be able to solve this. Once they're glued in, you can just break everything right off. Now as we reinsert the screws, it's gonna pull nice and tight. With our hinges all tightened up, let's see how this turns out. Okay, mostly there. The reveal on this looks fantastic. Actually, that's about perfect. So up and down, we're in great shape, but one thing I'm noticing, still not latching. It's actually not latching because even when everything's straightened out, it's not falling inside the hole because it's sitting too low. Let's see if we can fix that. In order to get our door to latch properly, we've got a couple of easy options that we can take a look at. The first one, we can bust out the playing cards. We can actually use these as a shim that goes behind this bottom hinge on the frame side. And by doing that, it should kick the whole door over a little bit at the bottom, which also should lift this up ever so slightly. With our bottom hinge removed temporarily, we're gonna take some of these cards and we're just gonna fold them up so that they fit inside this space here. So 2 of hearts feels like it'll do the job. I'm gonna fold this into thirds. There we go. We'll place it right back here. And what I like to do is place it right in the middle so that we can still insert the top and bottom screws without any issues. I'm being really careful not to overdo it here. And then once we've got the top and bottom ones in, we'll just poke a hole right through the cards for the middle one. And we're good. Now we'll see if that lifted things up enough to do the job. All right, we'll do a quick test here. Oh, so close. It is higher and it's really close. I actually think if we do one more card, that might do the job. Let's give it a go. Ah, still no dice. All right, so when we're this close, we don't want to push anything even further. So what I'm gonna do now is a little bit of filing on the strike plate hole. So our goal with this is to open up this bottom section of the strike plate just a little bit. That hole needs to come down so that the latch can fit in. So I've got a nice little square file here that I can use, and I can just kind of eat away at this little by little. And you can see it starts removing metal pretty quickly, and just open that bottom up. One of the reasons this job is so important is because we need to make sure that we can close these doors and have our privacy. Speaking of privacy, most people don't realize that their personal info is floating all over the internet. Name, address, phone number. These can often be found through search sites, data brokers, and commercial databases. And that is exactly how scams and identity theft start. That's why I use Incogni. Incogni actually tracks down and removes all of your personal data from all of those places. Not just one site, but dozens, so that scammers can't find you in the first place. In just the last month, I've had my data removed from 385 data brokers, with 268 more in progress. And they just added a cool new feature called custom data removal, which lets you target specific sites or info you want gone. Now, just to clarify, Incogni is not a VPN. A VPN protects you while you're online, but Incogni goes after the data that's already out there and actively removes it. Their data removal process has even been verified by Deloitte, which is a big deal in the trust department. Bottom line, they can't harm you if they can't find you. Take back your personal data with Incogni. Use code LRN at the link below and get 60% off annual plans. Now, one cool little trick you can do with this, if you're using a file, something like this, then it helps to have a little more room to push it back and forth. So you can actually use a larger drill bit and drill a little bit deeper into the wood frame. All right, let's give it a try now that we've filed it down a bit. That's the sound we like to hear. Now, this shows me our next point as well, which is that sometimes we have all this play in here. Very loose. There's a really easy fix for this. There's a little tab inside that we just need a little adjustment for. Right inside here, there's a little tab, and most of the time that tab is gonna have a little hole in it that you can use a slotted or flat-headed screwdriver to take care of. So if we pop a screwdriver in there, we should be able to grab, there we go, grab that tab and start to bend it out. Now when we close it, let's take a look. Okay, a little less play, but there's still some in there. I'm gonna bend it a little bit more. All right, let's take a look now. There we go, much better. I'm pretty sure I'm not going to be able to get to all of the different types of issues that you might be having with your doors in your house. So if you've got something we don't cover here, feel free to leave a comment in the comment section below. I'll do my best to reply. One place where you can more easily get a hold of me is in our DIY community. So here's a post, for example, by Chase, one of our community leaders, who talks all about how to flush his tankless water heater system and teaches everybody along the way. So if you're interested in joining other like-minded DIYers, like Chase and myself, join us in the DIY community. Links are in the description below. Okay, we've got a great one here. This one is super messed up, but I'll bet we can fix it. So I get kind of giddy when I see doors like this because I know that they're usually pretty easy fixes. This one will not close at all. It's worse than the one downstairs. Totally hits the door frame. And when we lift it, check out this movement here. Man, that is like, it's moving about 3/16 of an inch probably. Got a big old gap, and we can tell there's definite issues with the hinge here. So when we put it in place, what we're noticing again with the nickels is I can't fit anything up here, super tight up in the top right corner, but down on the bottom, I got one nickel and then some down there. Now top right, this should be the opposite. So yep, 2 nickels go in there, no problem. And then down on the bottom, nothing, can't fit one. So all that means is that the entire door is tilted. So instead of being straight and plumb, it's tilted over to the side just enough to block everything. And that's because there's so much pressure on this hinge. One other thing to note is anytime you see paint wear like that, that's a sign. That's really just a clue of exactly what's going on. So we see that it's been rubbing there and it's rubbed the paint right off. So that's a major issue there that we can take care of. From here, we checked the reveal on the door and then checked for any strip screws on the hinges and fixed any of those that needed fixing. All right, let's see what that does. Okay, better, but we're not there yet. Still hitting. It's definitely better than it was, but it's not where it needs to be. So this is where the playing cards are going to help us out yet again. This time, we're going to use them as temporary shims up in this corner to get the placement just right. So what we're going to do is close the door. Then I can still lift it and get a little gap here. So I'm going to use my playing cards to create that little gap. There we go. All right, what I'm looking for is a fairly consistent reveal all the way down the length of the door. So from the top to the bottom, I want that to look pretty even and consistent, which it now does because I've put this gap in here. With our cards in place up here, we need to remove the pin for this top hinge. And there's a bunch of ways to do that. One easy way is to use a star drive bit or anything that has kind of a flat top on it. Put that in there and tap it out. Then once it's this far, you can usually use the other end of the hammer to help pry it out. Now that the pin's out, you can see that this one, these numbers 1, 3, and 5 here, they are wanting to move further this way, while 2 and 4, those are the ones that are attached to the door, are actually pointing more that way. Especially right here, you can see the big discrepancy. So there's 2 ways to fix this. The first way is we can use some of the playing cards and we can actually take the hinge, the leaf of the hinge that's on the jam side, and then we can actually try to put some on the back of it. It's going to take the whole thing and twist it that way. And what that will do is take number 1, 3, and 5 here and push them out to the left just a little bit. That'll make it so that when we put the pin in, it'll snug the whole door up to the left, and that'll give us a better reveal over on the other side. The other option is we can use a wrench to bend either numbers 2 or 4 and try to bend them in a little bit more so that when we put the hinge in, it's going to have to snug up this way. So either one of those will work. We'll try the playing cards version first, because if you don't have a great grip of screws on the door, then trying to bend things might actually cause more problems than it fixes. So let's start by seeing if we can just shim the hinge a little bit that way. So to fix this, we're just going to take a single playing card and we'll fold it. So I'm going to fold it into a pretty thin segment, maybe a 1/2 inch, and just do kind of an accordion fold on this. Put it back here like this, and then we'll see if we can get the screw to go right through it after we drive the screw in. So we'll start by placing our playing card shim in there. We'll kind of line everything up, and because these other 2 screws aren't in the way, I'm just going to temporarily place them in, then we'll fasten them all the way down. Now we're ready to drive this one right through the shim. All right, so now the whole thing, instead of looking like this, is tilted away a little bit, which should help snug the door up. Let's take a look. Now to test this, we're just going to put the pins back in. You can kind of wiggle it back and forth to try to get everything in place like that. Yeah, look at that. Okay, now it's latching. There we go. That fixed it. So it's still not as far over as I'd like it, so I am going to actually do what's called knuckle bending over here, but I'm going to do that with this in place. So I'm going to pop that pin out again. And the reason is that shows us exactly how all of these line up. We've got our door closed and we've got our card gap over on the right. So this here on the left side, we can see we've got a lot of things going on. Number 1, there's still too big of a gap above and below the hinge, which we want to fix. So in order to do that, we're actually going to take knuckles number 2 and 4, the ones attached to the door, and bring them to the right a little bit. Now you can do this with a traditional monkey wrench or adjustable wrench like this, or if you have one, you can use what's called knuckle benders. And these knuckle benders here, they have the little recesses cut out of them for the shape of the barrels or the knuckles right here. So that's pretty handy. You don't have to use these. I'll put a link in the description if you want to check those out, but that's an option as well. I'll do one of each so you can kind of see. So here, just with a standard adjustable wrench, we're going to tighten it down onto our top one. This is our second one down, the one that's attached to the door, and then I'm going to rock it toward the door a little bit. There we go. So I just moved it a little more out of place than it was. And I'll do the same thing on this one. There we go. So now when I open the door and drop the hinge in, it's going to want to, and then close it again, it's going to want to push everything over to the left a little more. Let's see that. Okay, so I'll pop our shim out, then let's drop our hinge in. So you notice they start to line up more as we open the door. Get it to right about there, and then it's not so hard to get those in. I'll just leave it that far in for now. There we go, and that tightened it up even better. So now we've got a much better reveal. It closes really easily. One finger, no problem, and we've got a good latch there. So I'm just going to tap that pin all the way down and we'll move on to the next door. Hopefully with that, you've got your doors in tip-top shape. If there's anything I missed, leave those comments in the comment section below or join us in our DIY community. And if you want to see why I think these doorknobs kind of suck and there's a better option for all of us here in the United States where we're the weirdos that use these, check out this video right up here. I'm Nils with Learn to DIY. Thanks for watching.